Women's World.
The news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
All right, so that was absolute insanity yesterday with the wind. At one point, I went outside. I could not even walk. Like I was being blown backwards.
Doors were getting flung.
Unbelievable.
Our front door here in WKTV, it was difficult to even shut. My car door as well.
Imagine.
My apartment building was shaking. It was a very windy day yesterday. And the good news is the winds will be diminishing. In fact, they've already pretty much diminished for the most part. It was a mainly yesterday type scenario. But let's take a look at what's going on right now in the bigger picture, because this is more than just on the local level. We've got a strong low pressure out to the west, which transferred its energy over to a coastal low yesterday. You can start to see it almost like a nor'easter impacting parts of our local area here. And we're still dealing with some snow showers here locally. In fact, some thunder snow is taking place in areas out to the east. And you probably are not alone if you heard thunder snow overnight this past night. Thunder sleet, pretty much everything but the kitchen sink. But as Ben mentioned, that kitchen sink probably also blew away with the wind as well, because these are lingering snow showers taking place early this morning. Winds, thankfully, nowhere near as strong as yesterday. We had near record-setting winds in some locations. More on that in just a few minutes. But regarding the next 12 hours, the worst of this system is going to be over and done with within the next few hours as the snow begins to wind down. We're still not done with some scattered snow showers over the next few days, but the highest impact of that snow will be over and done with again by this morning. So temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 30s with some spotty late snow and drizzle. We're going to talk about when this all eventually comes to an end and what to expect heading into the rest of the work week straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast. Never more than 10 minutes away. Let's stay on the weather. What we saw.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back. The time now is 5:11, and it's time for the Munson Commutecast as you head to work today. And we got some updates on those road conditions as you head out to work. First off, here's a live view from areas all across central New York. The arterial, a little slushy, not too bad. Route 20 and Route 8. We've got some snow, we got slush. It's a very wet snow, very slick, especially on those bridges. I-90, you can see right here, Herkimer Mohawk, there is one clear lane, but there is snow on the other side. And look at the traffic flow. We are seeing, at least right here, a single accident. I'm going to go and take a look at this because this just came in within the past few minutes. It is a crash on I-90 eastbound after exit 29. Before New York 169. So again, there's an accident on I-90 right there with reduced drive speeds and those oranges and yellows. And a quick look at some of those drive times across central New York. Again, budget an extra minute or two heading out this morning. It's going to be, we're going to be seeing a little bit on the slower side regarding traffic. 24 minutes from Utica to Mohawk along 5S. And then finally, if you're in Otsego County, budget maybe an extra 10 or so minutes if you're heading from Cooperstown to I-90 along Route 28. This morning, again, slushy spots here and there. Watch out for slick conditions. They do improve this afternoon with things gradually drying out a little bit with still a few lingering flurries. We're going to talk about this a little bit more in detail in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Alrighty, thank you very much, Eric. Millions of Americans are expected to
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. Happy Thursday. Today we are dealing with, at least for the most part, in higher elevations, slushy roads, snowy conditions, even working as far into the lower elevations as downtown Utica. In fact, a live look at downtown Utica. We're seeing a little bit on the slushy road side of things. It's not nearly as bad as what it looks in some locations here in the lowest elevations, but you head up those hilltops, the roads are covered in an icy slush, and it can be slick at some times. Just a reminder to slow down or budget a little bit extra time when you head out this morning in case you get, in case the road conditions are a bit on the slick side. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We are looking at pretty much widespread, steady snowfall taking place between Rome all the way down to Cooperstown, lingering to the end in Oneonta. And this will be the worst of the snowfall for today. Following the next few hours, the snowfall will gradually weaken and we'll only see a few scattered spotty snow showers throughout the daytime today. And temperatures do climb from the low 30s this morning in some spots to as high as the mid to upper 30s by this afternoon. And regarding those snowfall chances, you can see here, diminishing greatly throughout the day today. Wind speeds, it was a very windy day yesterday. In fact, Griffiths topped the charts with 64 mile-per-hour wind gusts. It's a strong easterly wind due to a rare event here in central New York, which are called gravity waves, which takes place when you have uneven transfers of pressure, which, as we explained yesterday, was due to that low pressure system out from the west moving to the east. It actually was the second fastest wind speed recorded at Griffiths since it moved to Griffiths. Number one is 67 miles per hour, just a few miles per hour higher back in July 20th of 2013. Bigger picture, you can see that low pressure out of the west. It transferred energy. Now it's a nor'easter, and this nor'easter will slowly move up the coast, curb inland a little bit, but it won't really impact our area too much as it finally exits the region out to the northeast. And you can see here, we're not done with unsettled weather just yet. On and off light rain and snow showers here and there, lingering into the early morning hours on Saturday. And again, here's all that snowfall. As we head throughout the morning and afternoon, things wind down with a few spotty snow showers and temperatures climbing into the upper 30s. 7-day forecast. Unsettled today and tomorrow. Windy, not nearly as windy as yesterday, thank goodness. And your 7-day forecast for Saturday calls for clouds, giving way to sunshine on Sunday. And so far, so good. On Monday, we're dealing with some high-level clouds. They will be thin at this point, which doesn't block out the sun too much. The worst deal is when you have low-level clouds that you can't see through to see the eclipse. So far, so good. Let's hope those conditions hold.
Yeah, and just to make note, Adirondack, Remsen, Camden, Central Schools, all on, I believe, 2-hour delays.
Which I think is definitely justified
yeah,
with some of the road conditions out there this morning.
Yep, and I'm sure more will be coming in the next few minutes. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, we do have those closings going across right now. All right, thank you very much, Eric. Multiple aftershocks are 2024. Good morning, Central New York.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Thank you once again for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney.
I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
Yeah, not much visible on that Cavy Tower cam this morning, and for good reason. I mean, you just look at the radar behind you, and it is a mess out there.
Yeah, in some spots, a lot of slick conditions on those roadways. Higher elevations, we've got a mixture of wet snow, ice accumulating on the roads. Lowest elevations, like in downtown Utica, you can see actually behind us, the snow is falling. But it's not accumulating too much. No. There's a thin layer of some wet slush, but you head out to those hilltops, and it's a little bit of a mess out there. A live look at our current conditions all across, first, the northeast, the bigger picture. We are seeing that transfer of energy, a strong low pressure forming off of the coast, otherwise known as, in typical standards, a nor'easter, except we haven't really seen much of these so far this winter time, and it's springtime. We're finally seeing all this winter weather. Winter showing up late to the party. But zooming in, we can take a look at what's going on near our local area. And we can see snow showers still lingering over parts of central New York. It will gradually taper off within the next few hours. So conditions on the roads will greatly improve by, let's say, 9, 10 a.m. But a heads up this morning, there will be a lot of slick spots, especially on bridges. Watch out for icy conditions on those, as those do freeze over quicker than regular roadways. Winds, thankfully, nowhere near as strong as yesterday, and over the next 12 hours, we're tracking the end of some widespread steady snowfall and a return to some spotty light snowfall as we head throughout today, tomorrow, and the early part of Saturday. We're still in an unsettled weather pattern until roughly Saturday evening. That's when we could be seeing some sunshine and warmer temperatures on the horizon. We'll talk about that in detail in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the full Storm Tracker 2 forecast, never more than 10 minutes away.
Well, Welcome back. Time now is 5:41, and of course it's time for the weather photo of the day this morning. And this one is showcasing how strong Mother Nature can be sometimes. Look at this wind damage submitted to us in Kirkland. An entire tree uprooted. Now, why was yesterday's wind so bad? Well, there was multiple factors, including rare gravity waves that take place here in central New York that involves irregular pressure differences as pressure changes throughout the area, but also a strong east wind. These weak trees are used to strong westerly winds. When we get strong easterly winds, their roots aren't really able to withstand such strong winds from the opposite direction, and that's why a lot more of these trees continued to fall. Look at those precipitation types as you head out the door this morning, because in some locations we're dealing with snow, other spots sleet, and some locations just some spotty rain taking place, areas way out to the west. And so far we are right in that line of snow to sleet at this point here in the Mohawk Valley and areas to the east, and it will continue to be the case throughout the next hour or so as conditions will gradually improve by around at 9 at 10 a.m. See the radar here, widespread steady snowfall. The snow is winding down over the next few hours. We're talking about what can you expect for the rest of the day today, plus for the rest of the work week straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. We continue to track a developing nor'easter that is exiting our area over the next few hours, but it's still bringing some notable snow and ice. In fact, a live look at downtown Utica on our Nexus camera. The roads have gotten a little bit worse in the past hour or so. In the right here along Oriskany Boulevard, you can see here that there is a thin layer of ice and snow. This is a very dense snow, borderline ice. In fact, the snow is so icy, in fact, just right around 32 degrees, where it is melting as it hits your windshield. So just to give you an idea of just how dense this snow is, not that fluffy kind we see with cooler temperatures. The radar is showing the widespread darker blues, indicating moderate snowfall rates here locally. And you notice how we got dry air moving in south of us, and this is the end of the system. We got possibly another brief round on the backside, but this will continue to shift more north and east, and following that, conditions will improve over the next few hours, heading to roughly 9, 10 a.m., as most roads should be, at least main roads, should be treated and plowed, and maybe just a few side roads still left unplowed, at least until probably the late morning and early afternoon. Temperatures this morning climbing into the mid to upper 30s for the highs today. Winds nowhere near as strong as yesterday. Wind gusts as high as 60 or so miles per hour. And regarding rain and snow chances, we gradually decrease in snowfall coverage throughout the morning and early afternoon. Again, it was a very windy day today. Max wind gusts as high as 50 miles per hour in parts of Brookfield, 64 official wind gusts up in Griffinson, Rome, which is in second place for the windiest or strongest wind gust on record. Number one was 67 miles per hour back in July 20th of 2013. So it was a very windy day yesterday, and even that might be an understatement with the amount of wind damage and power outages we still have seen. Outages are still taking place across the area as of this morning. Bigger picture, here goes that coastal low, and watch it continue to shift more north, curve inland a little bit, but we're still outside of the highest impact zone. All those darker blues are way out in parts of New Hampshire and Maine, while here locally, a few spotty snow showers taking place as most of the energy is well outside of our central New York region. And zooming in on our Skycast, we can see here that widespread snowfall weakening as the morning continues on, temperatures climbing into the upper 30s. Your 7-day forecast. It's windy, not nearly as windy as yesterday over the next few days, with on and off rain and snow showers. We dry out a little bit on Saturday, but sunshine peaks out on Sunday. We hope it sticks around just in time for the eclipse, which should be favoring high clouds, which shouldn't block out the sun too much. But overall, a warmer, more spring-like pattern by next week with highs in the low to mid 60s. So
all right,
looking a bit different than this week.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Eric. A big shakeup for another team that wears red, white.
The news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning once again. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney, in for Gary.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Age.
All right, to sum it up in one word, insane. Absolutely insane. The win yesterday.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, near record-setting wind in some spots. It was very windy, lots of wind damage, lots of power outages, unfortunately. And this morning, we're seeing the backside of this system, which is bringing wet snow and ice. Roads are getting worse and worse by the minute.
Yep.
This will only be a temporary thing, though. As the morning continues on, the road conditions will improve, but just for now, it's definitely a bit slick out there. In fact, you can see behind us the road still looking a bit ice and snow covered.
Definitely.
A look at where things are right now, a bigger picture of the system as a whole. It's basically a nor'easter as energy transferred from a low out to the west to areas off the coast. And you can see that widespread snowfall impacting parts of, for example, the bullseye in the capital region, with the end of that system in parts of the Mohawk Valley. And zooming in a little bit, we can see exactly how it's impacting us here locally. The darker blues indicating moderate to heavier snowfall rates. But notice to the south, things are looking a little bit more on the dry side. We're not done with the snow just yet, but the worst of the snow will end within the next few hours as conditions will gradually become a lot more favorable for travel. Around the state, those winds, thankfully, nowhere near as windy as yesterday. Yesterday was one of the windiest days we've seen in the past several years. And over the next 12 hours, we expect that snow to wind down a little bit between 9 or so a.m. as things continue to get a lot better regarding travel and road conditions. And then by the late afternoon, we're talking about mostly cloudy skies with a few spotty lingering rain and snow showers. Following this, we're tracking what to expect for Friday into the start of the weekend, and some good news regarding warmer temperatures by next week. That full forecast is straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the full Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Let's stay on the weather. What we saw yesterday, we do not see often. Huge wind gusts had power crews out making repairs. Many folks now looking to make repairs at homes and businesses. Check this out. Part of the roof off of the Old Spilka's Hotel blew off. This is at the corner of Noyes and the Arterial in Utica. Noyes between Sunset and the Arterial is still closed this morning. You can imagine with all the wind we saw, there were a number of reports of roofs that were blown off the viewing area. No one was hurt. Check this out, a narrow escape with a flying trampoline. This is at the corner of Sunset and Roosevelt in Utica. The wind wreaking havoc. There were over 6,000 without power in Oneida County into the overnight, 3,000 in Herkimer and 800 in Otsego County. Those numbers have decreased. These are the latest numbers. Thousands still remaining in the dark, 5,541 in Oneida County, 3,427 in Herkimer County, only 190 without power in Otsego County. A 17 and 18-year-old are facing charges after they tried not once.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good morning. Welcome back. Time now for the Munson CommuteCast as we prepare you for the roads as you head out the door this morning. And our recommendation is you definitely want to spend a little bit extra time budgeting for your morning commute. As you take a look at those road conditions all across central New York, we're talking about wet snow accumulating, for example, along Route 8, Route 20 in Bridgewater. The Arterial still looking at wet, slushy snow right near Genesee Street along the connection to the Arterial. Lots of snow taking place right now, and for example as well, I-90 a bit slick. In fact, with I-90 we have multiple accidents reported on our traffic tracker. In fact, zooming into a few of them, we have both of them are eastbound. First off, the one right here in between German Flats and St. Johnsville. It's a crash after exit 29A eastbound, and then secondly, just before the Genesee Street entrance ramp into the eastbound lanes of the I-90 area. We're talking about a crash, again, on the eastbound lanes during those two locations there. So reduced speeds along I-90, and you can see this right here, right around 35-minute drive time from Little Falls to Utica, 24 minutes from Verona to Utica, a bit longer than typical for that time. And you can see here, Utica to Mohawk 5S, a bit longer. And same thing if you're heading in Otsego County. Drive time around 41 minutes from Route 28, Cooperstown to I-90. We're going to continue to follow any accidents as well as any road conditions, and plus when the conditions continue to improve in that full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Millions of Americans are expected to travel to see the
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. With the strong winds yesterday and overnight, we are still dealing with thousands without power here in central New York. Let's take a look at those latest outage numbers. First at Oneida County, reporting 5,354 without power from National Grid. In Herkimer County, 3,426 without power, including National Grid and NYSEG. And finally, Otsego County with 136 without power, also from NYSEG. So still plenty of folks without power this morning, some upwards of 12 to 14 hours without power this entire time, without internet. So unfortunately, that's the case with those strong winds we saw yesterday. And we're still dealing with some snow showers right now. A live look at downtown Utica from our Nexus camera. The road's looking a little bit better. I think a few plows have passed within the past few minutes along Oriskany Boulevard. And on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, notice the darker blues are exiting our local area out to the east. We're seeing some lingering light snow out to the west. And this will be the case for the next few hours here in central New York as this widespread heavier snowfall continues to wind down. Winds today nowhere near as strong as yesterday, and in fact we reached wind gusts as high as 64 miles per hour in Rome for the absolute peak, which was the second fastest wind speed on record in Griffith since it moved to Rome. At least the weather reporting system moved to Rome back in 2007. Bigger picture, we've got strong low pressure out to the east. This is creating a nor'easter, and you can see the backside wraparound snow showers impacting locations primarily east. Reports of 5 inches of snow in the highest elevations in northern Otsego County. That's the latest snowfall report we have so far there. But pretty much the rest of central New York seeing just a few spotty snow showers throughout the next few days as that nor'easter continues to track farther and farther to the northeast. And so our Skycast this morning, widespread, steady, wet snow and ice. Things wind down by this late morning and early afternoon, so road conditions will improve. And the worst of this is getting over and done with by 8, 9, 10 a.m. this morning. Then following that, a few wraparound backside spotty snow showers here and there. But again, the worst of this system will be over and done with. And regarding additional snowfall, you can see here, largely elevation based. It's going to struggle for that snow to stick in the lowest elevations in the Utica-Rome region, with the highest elevation hilltops seeing more of that snow. 7-day forecast. It's feeling a lot more like winter for today, tomorrow, and parts of Friday, but we return to more spring-like conditions for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, with highs approaching the upper 50s to low 60s. And so far, so good regarding the chance for cloud cover on Monday. It's a close call. We've got several days of rain and clouds and snow, and just in time for the eclipse as things do dry out a little bit. But we'll continue to follow that forecast as days get closer.
Keep a close eye on that, but I like Tuesday and Wednesday. 62, 64.
I'm a fan of that, too, especially after the windy conditions.
That was brisk yesterday.
It was 30s during the daytime.
Yeah,
it did not feel like 30s.
No,
it felt a lot colder.
It did not, for sure. Thank you very much, Eric. Multiple aftershocks are hampered for Good Morning Central New York.
Now, the news with Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us this half hour. I'm Ben Kinney.
I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
Oh, it looks a lot like Christmas out there.
Yeah, and this is April,
Yeah,
early April, and we are dealing with a late April Fool's joke. We get it, winter. You guys didn't show up.
I'm searching for a certain groundhog right now. I think said groundhog might have a bounty on him.
There was a funny joke I saw a post on Facebook where it was a Puxatawny Phil's wife was saying that he's a compulsive liar, that he shouldn't be trusted. And I found that kind of funny. But a look at what we're expecting out there right now, a live look in Cooperstown. It is a beautiful winter scene out there. In fact, it's just hard to believe that it's early April. And so far, it's right around 32 degrees. That means the snow falling is dense. It's wet, it's clumpy, it's icy, it's slick, it's slushy. It's all those factors. Just a heads up, if you're heading out this morning, you're going to have some tricky travel situations, especially on those less traveled roads. The bigger picture, here's a nor'easter that's still continuing to push up the northeastern coast. The snow is going to continue to wind down over the next few hours. You're noticing here that the nor'easter is shifting north. Still producing some snow, especially in areas in Fulton, Montgomery counties, Hamilton County, which we expected to be the bullseye over the past few days. Should be seeing most of the snow as that track continues more and more east. But thankfully, with all those strong winds yesterday, the winds will not be anywhere near as strong today. Blustery, windy, but not damaging winds. Like we saw yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening. But for the next 12 hours, we're dealing with some moderate to heavy wet snowfall and ice, giving way to just some spotty light snow showers by 10 a.m. to around noontime. Things will wind down, quiet down as well. Road conditions will improve, but again, this morning, budget extra time heading out this morning. There are a lot of roads that are still very bad out. It has improved in some locations in the past few hours, but again, watch out for slick spots. We're talking about what to expect after this, heading into Friday, plus the weekend and eclipse forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the storm tracker.
Welcome back. Time now is 6:42. Time to showcase our weather photo of the day on this Thursday. And a recap of the strong winds. Just take a look at how strong some of these winds were in Kirkland. This wind damage knocked over an entire tree, and you're probably wondering why was there so many wind damage reports, so many outages? Well, a variety of things. For one, what's called a gravity wave moved through central New York. Pockets of irregular pressure differences that cause those strong wind gusts to mix down near the surface. And on top of that, these are strong easterly winds. Our area, those old trees the roots are strengthened against strong westerly winds, not strong easterly winds. So we get those, a lot more of those older trees tend to fall over. And regarding this morning, we're still dealing with a wet snow wintry mix taking place in a lot of spots between sleet and snow at this point. But things will continue to improve, especially in lower elevations. For example, parts of the Utica roads, arterial, are getting plowed, they're getting treated, but side roads still could be a little bit on the slick side. And on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, dry slot moving in south of Route 20. Still some lingering snow in Fulton, Montgomery counties, as well as Hamilton County. We're going to talk about the latest power outage numbers, as well as a report of accidents taking place across central New York as of this morning. We'll talk all about that in detail in a few minutes. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. President Biden and Israeli...
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back. We are tracking multiple accidents across the area as road conditions have been very slick. To put it as an understatement, in some side roads, less traveled roads. The main roads are looking a lot better within the past hour. But let's take a look at the latest traffic flow. Those little icons, those triangles indicating reports of accidents. You can see there's a few in parts of I-90. In fact, both accidents on I-90 are eastbound, but you can see the drive speeds on I-90 have improved. Multiple accidents along parts of Utica. And then one accident way up in northern Oneida County near Ava. But again, we're talking about multiple accidents across central New York. Just a heads up to please slow down if you have any slush or ice on the road, because this snow is very slick. It's very dense. It's very slippery. Outages, latest numbers. In Oneida County, 5,346 without power. In Herkimer County, 3,426. Without power. In Otsego County, 152 without power. So it's still plenty of people in central New York without power after those very strong wind gusts yesterday. And a live look at downtown Utica. The winds have calmed. The roads looking much better than an hour ago on Oriskany Boulevard. There still are side roads that still need to get treated, that still need to get plowed. But just a heads up, if you're heading out this morning, that you could be dealing with that as well. But again, the main roads right here along Oriskany Boulevard looking much, much better. Radar showing that widespread snowfall gradually working its way out of central New York. The darker blues indicating heavier snowfall rates. Still, as expected, the bullseye of this system largely to remain in Hamilton County. Fulton, Montgomery County seeing some of that snow as well, but areas out to the east seeing a lot less as you head out closer to Syracuse with warmer air working in. In the bigger picture, we're seeing that nor'easter continuing to track north and east. All that snowfall continuing up into the New Hampshire, Maine area, and following that, wraparound snow showers and rain showers over central New York until Friday and Saturday, but not looking anything notable regarding accumulations or tricky travel. So our skycast, darker blues early this morning, giving way to just some spotty light snow showers this afternoon and this evening. Again, travel greatly improving over the next few hours, especially in those lower elevations. This is a temporary impact as expected, and we'll continue to see improving road conditions this evening and tonight, and no immediate travel impacts expected as we head into tomorrow and Saturday. So again, your 7-day forecast, we're talking about temperatures in the 30s, feeling a lot more like winter for the next few days, but we're back to more spring April-like conditions by next week. The eclipse, 59 for the high with partly cloudy skies, and 60s for Tuesday and Wednesday with some peaks of sunshine. So I'm looking forward to that warm spell we're going to be entering as we head into next week.
I think we all are. I mean, especially the 911 dispatchers from all three counties. My goodness, they've had a heck of a time these last 2 days.
Oh, outages, damage, accidents.
Ugh.
It's rough.
God bless them. All right, thank you very much, Eric. A big shakeup for another team that wears.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney.
I'm Storm Tracker 2, meteorologist Eric Gage.
A lot to get to this morning. The big story, the weather. The roads are a mess out there. The wind calming down, though, thankfully.
Yes, the winds were nasty, and now we're seeing the backside of the system in wind damage, power outages, accidents. It's been a rough past 24 hours here in central New York. And look at where things are standing right now. First off, a live look in Cooperstown. It looks a lot more like December, January, February, a winter-like scene in the background. It's currently 32 degrees, but for the most part, you can see on the roads, it's a bit slick. This snow is dense, it's clumpy, it's slushy, and this is bad for travel. The good news is that lower elevations, the roads are improving. For example, downtown Utica, Oriskany Boulevard, we're looking at right now, is currently looking a lot better. Nor'easter is still shifting up to the northeast right now, and in fact, zooming in a little bit so you can see what's going on. The snow is heaviest in eastern Fulton, Montgomery County, southeastern Hamilton County, and it's lighting up a lot here in the Otsego, Herkimer, Oneida County region. And over the next 12 hours, the snowfall will gradually become less strong, weakening over the next few hours, and then giving way to mostly cloudy skies and a few spotty light rain and snow showers this afternoon and this evening. So again, a heads up this morning, budget extra time heading out to work today. The roads are nasty in some spots, especially on less traveled roads. So again, it's going to be a bit slick out there. Following that, we're tracking the latest power outage numbers and the latest accidents on the Munson traffic tracker in the full forecast straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away. Let's stay on the weather. What we saw yesterday when it comes.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing to track the end of widespread steady snowfall, which is producing some slick roads in some locations. In fact, look at the latest accident reports on our Munson traffic tracker. We've got 2 accidents, both in the eastbound lanes on I-90. The good news is that I-90 has gotten a lot more, at least the roads have gotten cleaner. Notice the green indicating faster traffic speeds compared to earlier this morning when the roads were mainly orange and yellow, indicating slow or crawl type speeds, as well as another accident reported just in parts of Utica right now. Estimated power outages at this point, 5,346 without power in Oneida County. So far, 3,426 without power in Herkimer County and 152 without power in Otsego County. And so far, National Grid has no estimated time of restoration at this point. we are still looking to see when those times do eventually get updated. But alive at downtown Utica, the snow is still falling. The roads have gotten a lot better in the lowest elevations, but still side roads and less traveled roads are a bit slick with slushy, wet snow and ice. A heads up, go very slow on unplowed roads as the snow is very slick. And a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We're tracking that widespread steady snowfall out to the east, impacting primarily eastern Fulton Montgomery counties, as well as southeastern Hamilton County. The snow is gradually winding down over parts of the Mohawk Valley and areas south as of this point. And the bigger picture, here's that nor'easter. It strengthened overnight, and it's continuing eastward. We're seeing the last of it, at least for the most part, by this afternoon. But wraparound snow showers from that broad low pressure will still keep things a bit unsettled for tonight, tomorrow, and early Saturday before things do eventually dry out by Saturday evening and eventually into Sunday. But to our Skycast, we're tracking that snowfall this morning. It's lightening up. We're talking about cloudy skies this afternoon with a few spotty lingering snow showers coming to an end. But we'll still be dealing with some wraparound snow overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. But this will not be nearly as impactful as what we're seeing early this morning. The worst of the travel impacts are over and done with. Following that, additional light snow continuing into Friday night. A few spotty snow showers early Saturday morning, and then things do eventually dry out with some rain showers in the lowest elevations by Saturday with those warmer temperatures in the 40s. But regarding snowfall accumulation, additional snow, it's hard for that snow to stick in the lowest elevations in the Utica-Rome region, with the highest total still expected to fall in parts of Hamilton County, north of Speculator, and the hilltops in northeastern Otsego County near Worcester, and areas out in the hilltops south of Syracuse. But look at your 7-day forecast. We've got 30s and windy conditions for the next few days. We warm up a little bit on Saturday into the 50s by Sunday and Monday, with sunshine peeking out. A few chances for some rain showers on Tuesday, but high temperatures do climb into the upper 50s to as high as the low to mid 60s by the middle of next week. I'll be right back.
With Ben Kinney and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney.
I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
Oh, it's a winter wonderland out there, Eric, for spring.
Yeah, spring wonderland of winter, and I made a post on social media earlier where it was like, we've had a very winter-like spring and a spring-like winter.
Yeah, there's a certain groundhog I think there's a bounty out on right now.
Yeah, and we've had a rainy, a muddy, overall a very mild winter. Then as soon as the switch flips to spring, here comes that winter storm a few weeks ago, and then here comes weather today. So it's definitely a very unique situation we're in right now. A look at those current conditions all across central New York. You can see just how much snow has fallen in some locations. Out in Camden, actually, an outlier there, just some sleet that has fallen there. But in other locations, for example, in the highest elevations in Hamilton County, we're talking about snowfall totals measuring in the 7 to 9 inches. Same thing for those hilltops in Otsego County. But again, lower elevations, the snow is very dense. It's compact and very dense 3 inches or so of snow in the Mohawk Valley. Around the state, those temperatures are still in the low to mid 30s. That will cause that snow to continue to melt. And the bigger picture, here's that nor'easter sweeping up to the northeast. We've got moisture surging to the south, but that energy source, which is this low right here, is moving farther and farther away. So it's going to be a lot harder for heavier snowfall to fall here locally. And zooming in, we can see the radar still picking up some snow, but again, the worst of the travel impacts over and done with for today. A few breaks in the snow showers later on this afternoon before a few spotty snow showers return again tonight. We're still in this unsettled, snowy, rainy weather pattern for the next few days. But good news as we dry out and warm up as we head into the end of the weekend and next week. We'll talk about all that in detail straight ahead. Ben?
Eric, thank you very much. Let's stay on the weather. What we saw yesterday, the wind, well, we just don't see often. Huge wind gusts had power crews out making repairs. Many folks now looking to make repairs at home and at their businesses. Check this out. Part of the roof blew off the old Spilka's Hotel. This is at the corner of Noyes and the Arterial in Utica. Now, a number of reports of roof damages in the area. No one was hurt in this. Check this out. A narrow escape with a flying trampoline. This is at the corner of Sunset and Roosevelt in Utica. Just the absolute wreaking havoc. Over 6,000 power outages at one point. That number down to 3,000 in Oneida County, 946 in Otsego County. Herkimer County reporting just over 600 outages as of now. Down in New York City, the Statue of Liberty hit by a huge bolt of lightning yesterday. According to the photographer, these photos were taken around 6 o'clock last night from Liberty State Park in New Jersey. The powerful thunderstorm knocked out power to thousands in northern New Jersey. Wind gusts there up to 50 miles per hour during the storm. It's unclear if there was any major damage to the Statue of Liberty. New at noon, a Rome man is facing charges after a disturbance.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back, everyone. Well, it's been a pretty snowy morning. There have been multiple delays and cancellations with events and schools, and so far things are trending on the better side regarding commuting. This morning, this map had a lot more yellows, reds, and oranges, and now we're seeing a lot more greens, which means that traffic is flowing smoothly. Roads are getting better as the road crews, thankfully, are hard at work keeping these roads clean for all of you for your evening commute, which should be much better than your morning commute. Still, though, an update, thousands without power still in Oneida County, officially 3,377. In Herkimer County, 696. In Otsego County, 946 without power at this hour. And in downtown Utica, we're still seeing some light snow falling. It's mixing in with some rain in some spots as those temperatures are slowly starting to rise above freezing. Notice here the roads are wet, but of course they are clear and safe to drive on. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, a live radar. We are still seeing some steady snowfall falling in some parts of the area, primarily in northern Oneida County, and that snow band going from Syracuse all the way through to Oneonta at this point. And looking at the latest trends of where this system is heading, we got a nor'easter out here along the east coast and the weakening low pressure in the west. And watch how this low right here weakens and kind of combines with this one as it shifts more north. And it'll wobble a little bit off here on the east coast, bringing in some scattered snow showers in the next few days. Nothing really notable here locally at this point, but there still could be some measurable snowfall here in our local area over the next few days, depending on location. More on that in just a minute. But on our Skycast, we're talking about temperatures warming up into the mid to upper 30s this afternoon. A few spotty snow showers, but in the lowest elevations, that snow will melt. In fact, some of our cameras already seeing the snow melting at this point. So it's still looking to be a bit of the unsettled side for this evening and tonight. You can see a few scattered snow showers pulling through into early tomorrow morning. And then heading into tomorrow afternoon, a few spotty snow showers, temperatures rising only into the mid to upper 30s. Following that Saturday, still looking unsettled throughout the morning and early afternoon. We're not done with this snow just yet. This weather is just clinging on as long as it can. But following this, we've got good news on the dry side of things regarding weather by the second half of the weekend. How much additional snowfall are we talking? Well, with those temperatures in the Mohawk Valley and lowest elevations, barely anything will really stick beyond this point. But you go up to the hilltops, there still could be additional snowfall between 2 to 4 inches. Some isolated locations could see a little more, but overall you can see the elevation impact of this system on the snowfall map right here. And again, your 7-day forecast. We've got unsettled weather with windy conditions the next few days. Saturday, clouds, temperatures in the 40s. Warming up, though, into the 50s by Sunday and Monday with sunshine arriving and hopefully sticking around in time for that eclipse, but something I'm really excited for is for next week as we get more April-like weather.
Yeah,
It's
62, 64. I like that.
winter just doesn't want to give up, does it?
No,
And of course,
hopefully this is the last of it, though.
and I think it's the same thing too. Is everyone put away all their snowmobiles,
Yeah.
all their winter stuff, and here comes winter again. It's like, well, why didn't it come earlier? But
Yeah.
here we are.
No, can't control the weather.
Yep.
All right, thanks very much, Eric. If they're mistakenly... Good afternoon once again. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ben Kinney.
I'm Storm Tracker 2 and meteorologist Eric Age.
Pretty decent shot of Oneonta, minus the few water droplets on the camera there, but still snowing pretty heavily.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm showing this this video is because it gives you an idea of how the conditions are playing out right now. It's snowing out, but on the camera, the snow is melting, and we're right around that fringe 32-degree mark in a lot of spots. In Oneonta, for example, right below 32 degrees. But taking a look at, for example, Cooperstown, it's a little bit warmer. In fact, even though we saw a beautiful wintry scene earlier on, the snow is starting to change over to a wet snow. Eventually, you can see the trees along Main Street. The snow is no longer accumulated on. As a matter of fact, the sidewalk's now looking more wet. We're in this very damp, near cold rain, icy snow type pattern as the warm temperatures continue to move in during the afternoon and evening hours today. You can see here in Rome 35, Hamilton 34, Binghamton 36. A lot of locations are above freezing, yet snow is still falling. So because of that, we're seeing that melting take place right now. And on the radar, we're still tracking all that snow taking place, melting near the surface in a lot of locations, aside from those higher snowfall rates, for example, in Oneonta, parts of Chenango County, locations as well. And the forcing of this system will weaken as the afternoon continues on. You can see here the chance for some light snow later on this evening and tonight, returning once more overnight. And overall, we're still going to be stuck in this wintry, snowy weather pattern over the next few days. We do have warmer temperatures on the horizon, though. We'll talk about when that warm-up takes place straight ahead. Ben?
Thank you very much, Eric. It's the moment we...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. We pretty much have seen everything but the kitchen sink over the past 24 hours. Strong winds, rain, sleet, freezing rain, snow, wet snow, thunderstorms, pretty much everything. And we're finally seeing the backside of this very strong storm system, which is exiting our area to the northeast. And we're still getting some of that lingering snow, which is starting to melt on the surfaces as those temperatures near the surface continue to climb a few degrees. A lot like a downtown Utica, roads looking pretty much clear at this point. Some side roads might still have some snow and slush on them, but with the snowfall rates becoming much less strong as earlier this morning, it's going to be harder for that snow to accumulate a lot more. In fact, a lot of the Mesonet weather stations we're seeing across central New York are reporting melting snow over the past several hours. So the snowfall totals are starting to decrease, even though snow is still falling. This afternoon and this evening, well, temperatures peaking in the mid to upper 30s. Winds nowhere near as strong as yesterday, which is a good sign because the winds yesterday were pretty significant, with a lot of power outages taking place, a lot of wind damage. And in fact, yesterday's maximum wind gust peaking at 64 miles per hour. That is insane how strong of a wind gust that is. And to put that in perspective, it's the second fastest wind speed recorded since the weather reporting system got moved to Griffiths back in 2007. Number one was 67 miles per hour, only a few miles per hour higher, set back in July 20th of 2013. My guess was it was probably in an isolated thunderstorm wind gust and not a sustained wind speed. Bigger picture, low pressure shifting its way out to the eastern coast of Maine, and here locally we're doing remnant snow showers, which will gradually decrease in coverage because the power or the strength of this system in the low circulation is way out to the east at this point, and the farther away the low pressure goes, the less energy it has to produce any more of these stronger snow bands. But we're still going to be seeing on and off snow showers over the next few days as the low pressure still remains in our general vicinity off the northeastern U.S. And so you can see here, Thursday evening into Friday, on and off snow with clouds, temperatures hovering in the 30s, a bit of a cool, almost late February stretch of weather as we approach the end of Friday, the start and even end of Saturday. That's when things will finally begin to dry out. But you can see here with our snowfall expected over the next few days, additional snowfall, barely any accumulation in the valleys, maybe a little bit more in the hilltops overnight, but those daytime temperatures will cause a lot of that snow to continue to melt. But again, this morning we started out right around freezing with snow showers weakening but still remaining over parts of our area. Then overnight tonight, lows fall back down below freezing with still some spotty snow showers. Your 7-day forecast. Cool the next few days with winds, and then finally on Saturday, highs in the 40s with still lingering rain and snow. By Sunday and Monday, highs are in the upper 50s to low 60s by Tuesday, and looking a lot more like spring temperatures, spring conditions, saying goodbye to this wintry weather we've been seeing for the past few days.
Good. Good riddance. Good riddance to the winter weather. Come on, spring.
Yeah. I would say this. I don't mind winter weather, but I feel like winter weather deserves to be in wintertime, and I think spring deserves to be
spring
in springtime.
Yeah. Now, they say April showers bring May flowers. I don't know what April snow showers bring.
April snow showers bringing even more April snow showers, probably.
Yeah, I guess. All right, thank you very much, Eric. Jose Andres.
News with Kristen Copeland and Jason Pallas.
2,000 homes in Oneida County still in the dark after yesterday's wicked winds. Remsen with the most, and it's been more than 24 hours now.
Yeah, we've gotten through the worst of it, but the snow does continue to fall in some spots. Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis is tracking what's to come. Bill, good evening.
Yes, we're still expecting some wind and some snow, but a lot less of it here over the next 24 hours. Let's take a look at the snowfall totals. Happy to say there weren't any big surprises here. Our highest totals were in the higher elevations as expected. Hartwick, that was over 1,000 feet, 7.1 inches. Ava, 6 inches of snow. You work your way down to Utica, 3 inches of snow. Much less snow heading west of Utica. In fact, out towards the Syracuse area in western Oneida County, very little accumulation. Even Marcy only had 1 inch of accumulation. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Some scattered light snow showers continue, and again, this will continue into tonight with just a very small accumulation overnight, dusting to an inch of snowfall. Winds will continue tonight and tomorrow, but the strength of the wind will be much less than what we experienced yesterday. All signs point to improving weather heading into the second half of the weekend. And things are looking pretty good for the solar eclipse here in central New York. We've got the latest cloud cover on that. Snow showers this evening, temperatures in the 30s. Again, tracking some improving weather. Also, some warmer weather ahead. It's going to feel like spring again. We'll let you know when coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New information on the court.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. Unsettled weather continues as a nor'easter is parked off the coast. We're seeing some scattered snow showers. Occasionally, the snow comes down at a pretty good clip. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. One example of this is what's happening in Boonville right now, and also Western and Redfield. Again, that snow is coming down steadier compared to the rest of the area. And because temperatures are near or above freezing, and that will be the case for most of tonight, any snow that we do get will have a hard time sticking on the roads, but still some residual travel issues are expected overnight as the snow finally winds down. And it's going to be a process because it's going to take a couple more days for the weather to noticeably improve. We're going to be stuck in the clouds and the wind for the time being. Live look in downtown Utica, temperature of 38 degrees. Again, the roads are in much better shape than they were this morning. The wind continues tomorrow and Saturday. Wind gusts between about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Lower than what we saw yesterday, but still enough where it's going to be very noticeable. And we'll have a wind chill to contend with. Things get better. The wind becomes lighter as we head into next week. Sunday and Monday, the winds will finally start to break. And in fact, it looks like calmer winds here by the solar eclipse. As we look at the radar and satellite image, again, low pressure parked off the coast, continuing to throw in moisture from the east rather. And again, we're going to continue to see on and off snow showers here as we head into tonight. Some minor accumulations possible, a trace to an inch of accumulation overnight. Temperatures drop down into the upper 20s. Friday morning, the morning commute should be fine. Looking at cloudy skies, an occasional rain or snow shower throughout the day. Little accumulation is expected. But again, just unsettled with temperatures in the upper 30s and breezy conditions. Snow showers continue into Friday night. These could even linger into Saturday, although I expect much less coverage of those. Looking at generally cloudy skies and warmer, or more like less cold, with high temperatures in the 40s. Looking ahead to Monday, this is a look at the cloud cover forecast, and this line represents the path of totality, this area shaded here to the north of Utica. That's where the moon is expected to completely cover the sun. We are expecting some high clouds on Monday, but these are not expected to stop us from viewing the sun. High clouds are generally thin, not transparent, but thin enough where, again, it really shouldn't impact our ability to be able to see this. We'll continue to keep you posted here as we get closer. Snow showers tonight, low of 30. Tomorrow, looking at snow and rain showers, 37 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Boy, it looks like I'm holding my breath here, but if this forecast works out, we really lucked out. We've got this storm in place over the next couple of days, another one coming in for the middle of next week, but the way things are looking right now, at least we have a chance to see the solar eclipse.
See less and less clouds on Monday. I mean, but it's still there. There's always a chance.
There's always a chance, but right now things are looking good. We'll let you know if anything changes.
All right, Bill, thank you. Did you check this out, Bill? The Statue of Liberty hit by a huge bolt of lightning last night. This was about 6 o'clock. That the photographer got this shot, an incredible image capturing the lightning striking the Statue of Liberty's torch.
Can you imagine, though?
Wow.
Like, that could make a lot of money for that photographer. You could use it for so many different things,
Right.
like the power of America and all of those things.
The wheels are turning.
And,
okay. You're in like
call
the Team USA mode? Is that what it is?
That's exactly
okay.
what it is. Well, speaking of the USA, this year's hurricane season is shaping up to be one for the meteorologist Bill Curtis.
So we're talking about the eclipse, and now that the weather looks favorable to be able to see this, if you're on the fence about going to the area of totality, I'd like you to really think about it. I know it's going to be very crowded. There's going to be a lot of traffic heading north, but the experience is going to be breathtaking. It is a lot more dramatic to watch the solar eclipse in the totality zone. It's that area that's shaded on the map that's north of Utica. Areas like Old Forge, Boonville, Forestport, Turin, Westdale, these areas will be in totality during the solar eclipse between about 1 to 3 minutes. Right around 3:24 is when that begins across central New York. Again, this is for Monday, and again, the sky condition does look favorable. Should be able to see this one. Fingers crossed that the forecast doesn't change. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Cloudy skies, snow showers continue across central New York. Traveling won't be too much of an issue this evening. If you are looking to get the dog out for a walk, temperatures will be in the upper 30s. A little chilly out there. Tonight's featured dog Yogi from Clark Mills. This is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. We're tracking some nicer weather heading into the weekend. A look at the forecasts coming up. Kristen, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. Countdown to the eclipse.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Tracking more scattered snow showers across central New York with minor accumulations overnight. We'll pick up another ½ an inch to an inch for most areas. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Bands of precipitation are approaching from the northeast as a low pressure center sits off the coast. Most of this is light, but occasionally the radar is showing some steadier precipitation, some steadier snow just south of Boonville towards western. But again, most of this will be coming down in a generally light clip. Overnight, as temperatures fall below freezing, some of this will have a tendency to stick to the road. So we're not out of the woods yet, but the worst of it in terms of travel is over. And also the worst of it in terms of the wind is over, though we will be windy as we head into tonight and tomorrow. We're just not expecting that intense wind that we saw yesterday. So we added 3 inches of snow to the city of Utica for this particular snowfall. And for the season, that puts us over 50 inches, 51.5 inches. In an average season, we have over 95 inches. So we are going to miss our average by a lot, between about 3 to 4 feet, actually 44 inches of snowfall behind average. This ends up going down as a very mild winter. And even though we do get some late season snowfall, it's not enough to catch up. Clinton, 3 inches of snowfall, 2 inches in New Hartford, 4 inches in Cassville. Gray, 5 inches of snow today. Fairfield, one of the higher spots with 8 inches. Westford, 6 inches of snow. Again, as expected, a lot of the heavier accumulation happened in higher elevations, which is very common this time of the year. Low pressure situated off the coast will continue to sit and spin and throw more clouds, snow showers, and generally chilly weather our way. This system is in the process of weakening, and over the next 2 days, the weather will very slowly improve. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, scattered snow showers overnight. Again, a very minor accumulation expected. Overnight lows drop down into the upper 20s to low 30s. On and off rain and snow showers tomorrow, much like today. The roads are generally wet. We'll be above freezing. A few lingering snow showers even into early Saturday before the weather starts to change. The skies are expected to clear out on Sunday. The total solar eclipse in our local area. This is the forecast for Monday. Expecting a few high clouds, but dry weather and sunshine throughout the day. This is a look at the timeline, with this beginning at around 2:10. Totality for most of us, 3:25. That's when skies are going to be darkening, especially to the north. And this does come to an end at 4:30 as the moon's shadow, the moon stops blocking the sun. Snow showers tonight, low of 30 degrees. Tomorrow, snow and rain showers, 37. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Again, the weather looks nice heading into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We warm up with rain chances Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be right back.
News with Kristen Copeland and Jason Pallas.
Off the top right now, there are fewer than 1,000 National Grid customers without power in Oneida County at this hour. That number was about 1,000 higher than that an hour ago.
Wind gusts as high as 64 miles an hour recorded on Wednesday. That's the reason. But what does the weekend have in store for us? Well, we're going to find out. Let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis for more.
Yeah, we're looking at improving weather. It's going to be a process, but every day going forward, we're going to see less cloud cover, warmer temperatures, and less snow and rain showers. Let's take a look at what fell across the area. The forecast, I'm happy to say, worked out pretty well across most areas. Utica picking up 3 inches of snow, but the higher elevations, as expected, picked up more. 7.1 inches in Hartwick, Dolgeville 5.5 inches, and Salisbury with 3.5 inches. And it is still snowing outside. We've got some scattered snow showers working in from the northeast. Kind of an unusual direction to see weather come from, but that's because we've got an area of low pressure parked off the Atlantic coast, and the weather will stay unsettled here over the next couple of days. Snow showers continue, as well as the wind, although not as much as we've been seeing the past 24 hours. The weather will gradually improve heading into this weekend, and we have some pretty good news for the forecast for the highly anticipated solar eclipse taking place on Monday. Snow showers this evening, temperatures in the 30s, again tracking slow improvements in the weather. A look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. At least 28 people have been forced out of Herkimer, and the building.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Feeling like winter again today, this April 4th. The weather, though, is going to change. It is that time of the year where this snow doesn't last. We will see some snow showers out there tonight. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The snow is dropping in from the northeast. This is an unusual direction to see any kind of precipitation, but it's because low pressure is located to our east. Today's snowfall, 3 inches for the city of Utica. We add that to the season total. It does put us over 50 inches, but we are going to be finishing below average this season. There's just no chance to catch up now with it being this late in the season. But it was a good run towards the end. Whitesboro, 35 degrees. Clinton, 3 inches. Micah, New Hartford, 2 inches of snow. Cassville, 4 inches. Fairfield, 8 inches. Sandy reporting 8 inches of snow today. And Westford with 6 inches. Again, the higher elevations, it's expected saw some of those higher totals. Low pressure, again, situated to our east, will gradually weaken, and we stay in the clouds and the unsettled weather along with the wind for about 2 more days. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, scattered snow showers continue tonight. An additional coating to inch of snowfall is possible. But again, I'm not expecting any big issues on the roads overnight. We'll start out tomorrow morning with cloudy skies and look for more on and off rain and snow showers throughout the day. Like today, the roads will be wet, temperatures will be above freezing, and it remains breezy, especially during the day. Tomorrow night, still lingering clouds and flurries and sprinkles. This continues into Saturday before things finally start to change. High pressure builds in from the north, and that sets the stage for some lovely weather heading into Sunday and Monday. Sky conditions look favorable for folks that are trying to watch the solar eclipse. This is the path of totality. We're calling for some high clouds to arrive by around 3 to 4 o'clock. That shouldn't block the view. High clouds are pretty thin, but we're, again, looking for favorable weather. We'll let you know if anything changes. And just a reminder, these areas in the path of totality is expected to happen around 3:23 to 3:24 in these areas where the moon will completely block the sun. If you're not in the path of totality, you can still watch this event. It just won't be as dramatic as those of us in the path of totality. Snow showers tonight, low of 30. Tomorrow, we're looking at snow and rain showers, breezy conditions, 37 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Clouds, sprinkles on Saturday, 44. Clouds start to give way to sunshine on Sunday. That's the day where the weather starts to change. Mostly sunny skies Monday, 55 degrees. We're into the low 60s on Tuesday. Rain showers Wednesday and Thursday. And just by the way, if we didn't have the eclipse, Monday's high would be 60, but we made an adjustment for that.
Interesting.
With losing some of the sun. So
Makes sense.
we're doing our own local homework here.
All right, Bill.
Yeah, we love. All right, thanks, Bill. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. We're live from the Adirondack Bank Center on day 2. Time now for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Okay, so we had a little bit of snow
Yeah.
that we dealt with over the night.
Picked up some snow here. This is just a look at some of the reports just to kind of follow up on totals today. Hartwick, 7.1 inches, a higher elevation. Lower spots, Utica picking up 3 inches. We're not done with snow quite yet, but we're mostly done. Same thing with the wind. This nor'easter is in the process of weakening, but it's still bringing some widespread light snow showers to the area. This is going to linger through tonight, tomorrow night, and into very early Saturday before the weather will finally start to dry out and clear out and warm up as we head into the weekend. Current temperature 34 degrees, cloudy skies, a little bit of a breeze out there. The weather again stays unsettled here, but look at this temperature trend. We're going to be heading up. Just about every day going forward will get warmer, and we'll climb into the 60s here by Tuesday. Tonight, snow showers, low of 30. Again, tracking some unsettled weather for now. We're going to look at that, plus an update on sky conditions for the solar eclipse, and that's coming out. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. At least 28 people.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Welcome back. We are tracking widespread snow showers across the region. These are going to continue into tonight. I don't expect any big issues with this, but we could see a very light snow accumulation by morning, with some places picking up as much as an inch of snow, but that would be the exception rather than the rule. With today's 3-inch snowfall total for the city of Utica, puts us over 50 inches of snow on the year, but guess what? Our average is 95.5, so we've trailed this all winter, and we are not going to overcome that. There's nothing that can possibly happen in April to do that, and if it is, we're in big trouble. As we look at the radar and satellite image, we are tracking a nor'easter that continues to sit off the coast and produce widespread steady snow. This weather system will sit in place for about the next 24 to 36 hours, and it will continue to bring some light snow showers, some wind and cloud cover. But again, it's in the process of weakening, so the weather will gradually improve over the next couple of days. Tonight, scattered snow showers, overnight lows drop down into the upper 20s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies. A continuation of unsettled weather with scattered snow showers, but much like today, no problems on the roads, at least during the day. Temperatures that are expected to climb above freezing will be in the upper 30s. Heading into tomorrow night, lingering snow showers, overnight lows drop down into the low 30s. And then Saturday, again, another cloudy day, more unsettled weather, but less coverage. So I think it'll be slightly drier, slightly warmer too. Temperatures look to climb into the mid 40s. Skies look to clear out as we head into Sunday, and the stage is set for nice weather here on Monday. This is a look at the cloud cover. We are expecting some high clouds to spill in from the west. This shouldn't have a significant impact on viewing. This is where we stand. The weather forecast has been pretty consistent for the past week, but again, things can still change. We are still a few days out, but again, things are looking a little bit better. And with that being said, if you're watching from the path of totality, the area that gets complete coverage from the moon and it turns nighttime, this is the time and duration of totality. Some areas that will be in that, Boonville, Forestport, Old Forge. It varies between about a minute and a half to as much as 3 minutes in Turin. But the bottom line is, if you're on the fence about making the trip to totality to deal with the traffic, it's worth it. Snow showers, 30 for the overnight low tomorrow. Snow showers and rain showers, 37 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather, again, improves as we get into Sunday and Monday. Temperatures in the low 60s on Tuesday. Rain showers, clouds, a return on Wednesday and Thursday.
Went down the rabbit hole and started reading social media comments about the eclipse. People complaining. Stop. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Go have some fun.
Listen.
Get out and enjoy it.
Some people hate Christmas, Jay.
That's also true. All right. Thanks, Bill. Coming up next, it's time to stop. Time now for our first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Hey, so we got some snow, but this is not going to last very long because we know what's coming.
Yes, eventually we're going to get spring. And the last snowfall of the rest of the season, not looking too bad, at least we hope.
Fingers crossed.
It's been a late spring here. Utica, 3 inches of snow. Hartwick, 7.1 inches of snow. Again, higher elevations as expected did get more than the lower spots. As we look at the radar tonight, we're not done yet. We still have a few lingering snow showers, and that'll be the case overnight as low pressure sits to our east. It'll continue to bring cloud cover and some scattered snow showers to the region, not only tonight, but also tomorrow night, and even into early Saturday. Light snow at Griffiths and Rome, a temperature of 33, and again, overnight, we'll see more of the same. Temperatures are going to rise, a noticeable climb in temperature throughout the next 7 days. We'll be into the 60s by Tuesday, so the snow that's out there is going to be melting over the next couple of days. Tonight, scattered snow showers, a low of 30. We're tracking the weather heading into the weekend, and a look at sky cover, what the clouds are looking like for the solar eclipse, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. At least 28 people.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking a few scattered snow showers tonight. That's going to continue through tomorrow as well as tomorrow night. And even into early Saturday, as the low pressure is situated to our east, and it will gradually weaken. We picked up 3 inches of snow today in the city of Utica. That puts our season average over 50 inches. But guess what? We're not even close to average. Our average for a season is 95.5 inches. And even though we've tried to make a late run, we're going to fall well short, about 44 inches short here, as the season is winding down. As we look at the radar and satellite image, we've got low pressure off the coast of the Atlantic, again continuing to spin and produce more snow showers and flurries, and that is going to be the prevailing weather pattern here for the next couple of days. Tonight, scattered snow showers. I expect a very light accumulation, less than an inch of accumulation overnight, and I'm not expecting any major problems on the roadways for the morning commute. 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, cloudy skies, a few light snow showers in the air tomorrow, breezy, chilly, temperatures still in the 30s. Heading into tomorrow night, more of the same. Scattered snow showers, overnight lows drop into the low 30s. More of the same on Saturday, although it will be a little bit better. Temperatures climb into the 40s. less coverage of those showers. In fact, some rain showers start to mix in on Saturday. A noticeable change in the weather takes place on Sunday as high pressure builds in, and it's just in time for the much anticipated solar eclipse. And right now, everything continues to point to decent weather, mainly clear skies. We have a few high clouds building in, but even then, some question marks on that. Looking at some of the newest guidance, those high clouds are actually a little bit more to the west, but again, we'll keep track of things. Things are looking to be in very good shape. If you're in the path of totality, this is a look at some locations that will be experiencing a total solar eclipse and how long that totality will last. For most areas in our local viewing area, it's about 1 to 2 minutes long. The longest duration is up towards Turin, 3 minutes. Again, I really recommend getting into that path of totality. Your experience will be quite different compared to those that are not. Snow showers tonight, low of 30. Tomorrow, snow and rain showers, 37 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks nice on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday with partly to mostly sunny skies, and we warm up. Highs in the low 60s by Tuesday. Rain showers return on Wednesday and Thursday.
And for those claiming to be all upset because there's going to be traffic and a lot of people around here, hey, it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and enjoy it.
Traffic's traffic.
It is.
We'll make it. We'll live through it.
We'll
Yeah.
persevere.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill. Coming